we are being told that being born in a ghetto, you are a criminal by default.
It's like a process of cleansing young people.
It's been designed that you live a poor life, that your family lives a poor life, that the next generation after yourself lives in a situation like this.
We were not able to choose where to be born and brought up in, and we are not criminals, and this is just enough.
We have insecurity from the police officers. At night they come from 7 p.m. They come, they beat everyone on the road. They were beating people, they were entering even the shops, the clubs, the hotels, beating people.
They came that day, they destroyed everything. They took our television. From there, they just came up here in our hall. First, they started with our tank, the storage water tank. They shoot it, and after that, they destroyed the outlet water.
And they've killed a lot of young men here in Mlango Kubwa. We've lost, I think, around 70 young men from 2017 to this year, 2020. And they are still killing. They'll come, they'll get you from your house, and they'll kill you.
Suspect you, or they like, maybe, I don't know if they don't like you, so they just take you there, they do the killing. Amana petrol station. Yeah. I think that is where the slaughterhouse is.
They don't want to talk about it because maybe I'll talk about it today. Tomorrow my brother will be targeted because I spoke about it. So when my husband was killed, I decided to talk about by the help of my family and the family of my husband. So we tried to pursue justice. I was 8 months pregnant, 2 weeks, 8 months, 2 weeks pregnant. But I have to save my community. We can't live this kind of life forever. I want my baby to have a good life here in the ghetto, to live freely. She can move wherever she wants.
It's like I was born into this, my adopted brother was killed. Like, I've lost so many friends through extrajudicial killings.
For example, I was born here, it's been over 20 years, I'm still here, and I have seen, since I was a child, I have seen police kill. It has been killer cop after killer cop. Right now we have Rashid, the other time we had Taiso. It's been like that.
Extrajudicial killings are, looking at them, they are only in informal settlements and in the ghettos. So to some points, I feel it's criminalization of the youths in the ghettos and criminalization of poverty.
In fact, when we started Mathare Social Justice Center, it's because these police killings had been so normalized.
But extrajudicial killing is used as that scarecrow to make sure that citizens, they don't organize. Now they are terrified by this killer cop, and they are spread in all informal settlements.
And why I think they need fear is for them to continue operating or governing in the way that they've been governing.
That even if there is a major crisis of lack of water, healthcare, things are not moving well, citizens don't rise up, because every time, and the police says that anyone who raises a voice is criminalized.
I realized that lamenting in the house, getting mad and all that was not enough. I needed to join forces with the other people who were doing the same thing I was doing. and who felt that something needed to be done. We reach out to women who have lost their sons. We just want to explain to them that if you don't come out and speak, then again, it's not your son, maybe, but your neighbor's son, your son's best friend will be the one getting shot tomorrow. So is that what you would love for the next generation?
Tekenya, kani tekenya, amenishika kwenye paja, tekenya, namtaja taja, tekenya, kani tekenya, amenigusa kwenye kwapa, yani mara huko mara hapa, tekenya, katoto, kamini tekenya katoto, kani tekenya katoto, money boy, tekenya katoto.
Nikika tekenya, kana tekenyeka, yani kana cheka, kameni tekenya, kana vitetemesha, wamekitonga sekenke na sereleka. Mikono juu kana mabavu, upepo suku mangalao, ukizungusha mama na pagao, adibiri kalamwa.
I like to think that the constitution or the law, or even better put, the rule of law, is the only option we have as poor people. At MSJC can serve as a very good example that we decided to reclaim the right to life, to claim the rights of an arrested person and the right to access justice as guaranteed to us under the Constitution of Kenya. And we started doing that through documentation of any violation that relates to those rights.
And then we realized there are more issues than extrajudicial executions, and they're all tied around the issue of social justice. We were very particular about calling it social justice movement. What is social justice? Right to food, right to water, right to life, housing, healthcare, education, all these rights that we are deprived of as communities living in informal settlements, which are our inherent rights as long as we are human beings.
The opportunity is very good, but it can only be achieved where there is a network of either lawyers or paralegals to ensure that human rights violations come to an end, that there is accountability at least when killings like the ones perpetrated by non-police officers. Understanding of the rule of law and organizing towards realizing these provisions granted to us as an essential component of movement building. And these provisions do not, in as much as they exist, these provisions also have to be demanded.
Right to health and medical care, right to education, right to clean water and sanitation, right to housing.
We say in Swahili, kidole moja hakiui chao. One finger cannot smash the lice. In the same sense, one human rights defender cannot bring a change to the volatile human rights situation we are in.
And we're trying very hard to bring everyone on board, not just youth groups, also the mothers, just the whole community. Let's form justice centers, let's consolidate our efforts, and let's have a bigger voice together.
And so far, that kind of work is what has brought an emergence to the movement as it is right now. The work of one justice center has now brought in, as you heard, 30 community justice centers.
Our main language of organizing is unity. That is where our power lies.
But now we have voices. Maybe hope as the movement spread in the urban area and the rural area, maybe we'll be able to rescue the failed democratic transition and be able to reform the police service and have an accountable police service that can help us to change this country to be a country founded on social justice and human rights.
Anything that has to do with your social life. How do you live your social life in the community?
as a young human rights defender, seeing other people believing in our own cause was such a motivation. And I still see Peace Brigades International as a huge motivation personally. That they were there in 2015 when we started, and they've been part of the journey. With all the problems we've had, I'd say PBI has taken a huge role in developing the concept and even the ideas that have been able to give us what we now have as the social justice movement. In terms of giving us protective accompaniment when we are going to police stations. And PBI does not just come there as PBI, they come there as members of the international community, coming to follow up on a case of human rights violation and accompanying a human rights defender who's following up on this issue. So that in a huge way nurtured the confidence and nurtured the spirit of human rights defenders to boldly follow up these cases to the station level.
I have felt deeply honored to meet with the human rights defenders working on police killings. The richness of the movement, their professionalism, their commitment, their sophistication in understanding documentation, in understanding the importance of data collection, the importance of evidence, the resilience of those people, mothers, youth, human rights defenders. I mean, that's incredibly impressive, and it gives me hope.
One boy,
55 cases, 100 cases, and we forget that that's when we talk about human life. It's just not cases, it's actually human life. Kenyans lost.
At this point, we've gone beyond the little politics of documentation or the little issues of human rights dialogues. Now we are thinking, how do we make sure that people understand their situation politically? How do they organize politically? How do we ensure that at one point we have a defender of human rights being the president of this country? If we get to that point, then I will have properly achieved it. Yeah? And I think we can get there.
We will not be afraid, we will not be intimidated. If they're going to kill us, let them kill all of us. But we have to fight for what we believe in. And that is social justice, and that is equality and dignity. What we are fighting for really is dignity.
I can say we've done a lot, from just being driven by anger and all that. We're now driven by love for justice, you know, the love to see us live a dignified life, you know, the love for our people, the love for a dignified life, and to see justice prevail for everyone.